Hi, and welcome back to the channel. We are continuing Attack on Titan. This is season 3, episode 22. So, we are wrapping up season 3 in this video. And it has been such a crazy season. It feels like it's been 2 seasons because it was divided into part 1 and 2. And those 2 parts have also been quite different in structure and story and whatnot, with the second part, of course, just being just a mind explosion after mind explosions, both with the people we've lost. Gonna say that again and again and again, because it still hurts with some of them, especially Eren, and then all the information that we got here at the end and that we're still getting. And we tried to, talk about a few things and still wrapping our heads around like that whole story. And of course, there's information that we don't have just yet, but they did open the floodgates, so to say. And the last one ended with that whole whose memories are these, or whose memory is this, and the connections there, but like across time and generations, and like there's something about that as well, and it becomes very mythological in a way, I would say. But are you ready to jump into the last episode of season 3?
I guess, but yes.
But yes, all right. Let's do it. And you can, of course, always check out our full-length reactions where you can sync up the footage with your own copy of the episode. We also have early reaction for Attack on Titan at the moment, where we are several episodes ahead, well into season 4. It's all over on Patreon, and the link is down in the description below. And here we go. The other side of the wall.
敵は世界。しかしこのことを公表すれば壁は大混乱に陥りますぞ。レース王がやったように何も知らない民をこの壁の中で飼おうというのか。我々には何の大義があってレース王から王冠を奪ったのだ。
Good question, Pixies.
100年前、レース王が民から奪った記憶を100年後の民にお返しするだけです。これからは一致団結して力を合わせなくてはなりません。
People are gonna lose their shit.
もう記事は出た後ですが、一連の話の信憑性は。
そりゃ信じたくないですよ。そんな話。それで町の反応は？
Who are they talking to?
様々です。
Reporters?
また平成権に異を唱え、あなた方を誇りに思います。同じ壁に生きる者として、または働く者として。
どうも。
ああ今度は調査兵団を担いで記事を書くといい。
So yeah, reporters. I think we've seen them before as well.
これからどうなります？世界中の人々が我々を人ではなく有害な化け物とみなした。その結果、あの地獄が繰り返されるのだとしたら。
That's the risk, right?
Yeah, very valid concerns.
いや、壁の英雄たちよ。
ヒッチ。
Oh,
来て
Hitch.
たのか。
マルロは
Yeah.
最後まで勇敢だった。そうだろう、フロック。話してやれ。
As the only survivor from the suicide charge.
あいつはすごいやつだったよ。知ってる。だから、私の言うことなんて聞かないんだろうね。
でも最後はあそこに行ったことを後悔しただろう。
ありがとう。式でヘマしたら笑ってやるから。
おい、なんでそんなことを。でも誰かが本当のことを言うべきだろう。お前じゃなく団長がふさわしいと思った。
Okay, honest.
でもそれは俺だけじゃない。みんなだ。お前ら二人とリヴァイ兵長が市場に流され、注射薬を私物化し合理性に欠ける判断を下したからだ。要は大事なものを捨てることができなかったからだろう。
You don't think Armin is regretting this?
Oh, but yeah.
お前って話すことじゃ。
エレン、もういいから離れて。
その点ミカサはまだ大人だった。最終的には諦めたんだから。
Go ahead, punch him.
Wow. Sean breaking up a fight between Eren and someone else.
お前らは上官に歯向かうわけでもなく、エレンとミカサを止めるわけでもなく、
He wants
た
a
だ見て
beating.
ただけだったよな。
This guy Flock is just really letting them have it.
誰を弔う？使い捨てるぐらいしか使い道もねえだろうが。そんな雑魚にだってな、値踏みする権利くらいはあるだろう。
But I also get where he's coming from.
エルヴィン団長が生き延びるべきだった。この状況を変えることができるのは僕じゃない。
Levi, you want to butt in with like why you make the decision?
壁の外には何があるんだ？
The sea.
海。
そうだ、海がある。炎の水も氷の大地も砂の雪原も、きっと壁の外には自由が。
Eren?
おいガキども、時間だ。並べ。
Did he get a little memory flash there?
Hmm.
地下室にあったものは何だ？希望だったのか、それとも絶望か。何かを変えることができるなら、自分の命ぐらいいくらでも捧げてやるのに。
When Eren kisses her hand, is something gonna happen?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
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 私は壁の外から来たエルディア人。あなた方と同じユミルの民です。
Oh.
今すぐ壁に攻めてきた巨人を殺してください。壁の民が食われてしまう前に。
エレン、
What's up, dude? With
What?
stop that. Wow. Who wrote that? Who's writing that? Because I sort of agree with it. Oh, snow.
積もった雪が溶け出す頃、
And okay,
兵団は
snow has
ウォー
melted.
ルマリア内の巨人は掃討されたと発表した。そして最初の超大型巨人襲来から6年、
6 years after.
調査兵団もウォールマリア街へ
Oh.
の被害調査を開始した。
ウォールマリア内に入っていた巨人がほとんどだった。俺たちは奴らを1年でほぼ淘汰しちまったらしい。
Oh, damn.
そんじゃ予定通り目的の場所を目指す。
What target?
Oh,
Ah.
got some longer hair, yeah?
Definitely.
Gulls?
Yeah. Heading to the sea? Oh,
Oh,
wait, what? Oh, it's another sort of
動けない。なんか
caterpillar situation.
楽園送りにされた俺たちの同胞だ。行こう、近いぞ。こいつをこのまま置いてくのか。殺さなくていいのかよ。くそ。
Yeah. Just sure, leave it, I guess.
okay, we're getting close.
Yeah. They've never ever been this like far away. Oh. Got some more walls. There it fucking is. The harbor, I guess.
There it is. The sea.
Finally get to see it. That must be pretty damn weird. You've like never seen the sea before, or like a big body of water.
Well, you know, just being outside the walls, right?
That too, like way, way, way outside the walls. Everyone is staring at it in almost disbelief, except for Eren, because he's seen it before in his memories.
Yeah.
Oh wait, this is the intro. Damn it, salty.
おいハンジ毒かもしれねえから触るんじゃねえ
Levi's not. He's not even risking it. He's just,
Nope.
nope, I don't want to touch that. Oop. It's sort of cute the way they're reacting to it.
僕が言ったこと間違ってなかっただろ。ね
すっげえ広いな。
え、エレンこれ見てよ。壁の向こうには。
海があって海の向こうには自由がある。ずっとそう信じてた。でも違った。海の向こうにいるのは敵だ。
Oh, yeah.
向こうにいる敵全部殺せば俺たち
Oh, no, no, no,
自由にな
no.
れるのか。
No, 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 no.
Hmm?
No, 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 no. That's not how you deal with this.
Oh, yeah, no, not at all. And that was the end. Season 3. So yeah, what Eren said there with defeating our enemies, us going there and just killing them, that being the solution, that is like the opposite of what that info screen said with whoever wrote that whole thing with like, let's stop doing it this way, let's stop like trying to kill each other, and the solution for us Eldians to like get the rest of the world to accept us is not to keep using our monstrous powers to just force them to accept us. It's like, no, we should sit down across from each other and try to talk about this. There is a post-credit scene, right? I'm fairly certain.
Someone
least-
said if until there's to be continued.
Yes.
Sequence,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. If the thing is coming back. Or. Nope. Yes. No. To be continued. Okay. Not much of a post-credit scene. Just a few images, I guess. Looked like it was Eren standing in some sort of hallway, and then we saw someone holding that seashell that Armin just picked up. So if that is Armin or someone else. And I also think there was a lot of new imagery or stuff we haven't seen before going on in the upper left corner of the screen while the credits were going. I just wasn't really paying attention to it or looking at it because really don't want to get spoiled. Don't want any hints, but just from the few glimpses that I caught, it did not look like something we've seen before. There's still a lot to it, but that was episode 22 of season 3, the season finale. Holy fuck. Now we only got the final season left. And I don't even know, at this point when we're recording it, we don't know if those 28 episodes, if that's it, like episode 28, that's the final episode, that's the final piece of, you know, Attack on Titan that we're going to get, or if there's going to be something else after the final season. I don't expect for them to do a final season, but maybe like a movie or something. Just heard people talk about it, but obviously we can't really look into it because then we might get spoiled. But we only have for now, the final season left after this. And there's still a lot of story to tell, I feel like.
I don't know, because I don't know the whole story, so I don't know how much story is left. You know,
I don't know either. But I'm just saying. I feel like there's still a lot of story to tell, both when it comes to the past, but also, of course, the future. Like what's going to happen once they get to the other side of the sea, or we didn't really get to know about like what their plans are. They were just riding out finally after like a total like 6 years after the first attack on the walls with the Colossal Titan there at the beginning of season 1, and the Armor Titan as well, of course. But they finally, after those 6 years, were able to ride out again a new expedition and went further than ever before, and they got to that harbor thing and the wall that where people have been injected and pushed over. And they got to see the sea. They even got to stand in it and touch it. Everyone except Levi, because he just no.
But also, it plays well into his need freakism because
yeah.
Well, if it's dirty and he's probably one of those people who hates getting, at least I do too, but so it's not like I'm judging in that way. But once you've gotten your feet wet and then you go into the sand and then there's sand everywhere and it clings to every inch of your feet and it's horrible and it takes such a long time for you know to dry so you can brush it off, and even when you brush it off it still feels icky. And
I feel like that as well.
Possibly that's what happened. And also, like, if you don't know, it's the first time they've seen the sea, and if you don't know how, like, what's in the water, like if you don't know what kind of animals, marine life, what's in it, so it's like, ugh.
Yeah, you have to said as much to Hanji. Like, don't pick that up. You don't know what it is. You don't know if it's poisonous.
Could be poisonous.
Yeah. It's just not having it, and everybody
then
else
stood there with two. I don't know what that was. It was sea sausages. I don't know what's it called.
Sea urchins.
Sea urchins. That's what they're called.
Sea sausages.
It's when you directly translate sea urchin to Danish, it's like sea sausage.
Yeah, or directly from Danish to English, you mean?
Oh, yeah, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I called it a sea sausage, because I didn't know the real, like, the English word for it.
I think it's sea urchin.
I think you're right.
Quite sure. But it was still kind of cute to see all that. The reactions to it. Just the water.
Yeah.
You know, the tide up and down. Or no, not the tide necessarily. The waves. Waves. At the beach and hitting their feet. Mikasa kind of stumbling, and who was it that said? I think it was Sean, who was like, "Oh fuck, it's salty! It's so salty!" Yeah, don't drink it. Don't drink seawater.
No,
ever. Don't ever do that.
It's gonna dry you out from inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was almost like when they dipped their feet in it. It was, I don't know, it was so cliche to say stuff like this, but it was almost like as if they washed off years and years of trauma and just got to, for a brief second, they got to be the kids that they are kids, like they're teenagers, like they are not, at least by our standards, they're not completely adults yet.
Yeah, they get to do what teenagers or young people they should be doing, is exploring the world and whatever else is going on out there, like just living life a little bit,
not having to think about getting eaten by titans, or
exactly fucking worrying all the time
people
about
hating them for the sole purpose of like their existence, and because they're of some race that and they might not even, because they don't necessarily have the gift of Titan, like not everybody was being turned. Oh fuck.
What did you think about?
Yeah, I was still a little bit confused about like the whole subjects of Ymir, so I'm not going to talk about that.
Fair enough.
But at least it was nice, as you said, very nice to see this just like short glimpse of them just existing and forgetting everything, except for Eren, who was just like, he thought he would feel freedom, and I totally got that feeling. Like I knew that feeling. I could relate so hard to it. That whole like, once I've done this, I'm free, and suddenly you do it, and then you figure out, I'm not free. I'm still bound by whatever.
Still bound by the past and memories and everything.
Yeah, and as he said, like, it was exactly what his memories were were telling him
Mm.
and showing him, so for him it was no surprise, or it was no experience, because he kind of experienced it before, right?
Yeah.
So for him it was nothing new, it was nothing novel. And he was not excited by that in the same way, or he was not excited at all.
He didn't get to live in the moment like the rest of them did. He had already moved on to worrying about the future.
Yeah, and the way where I'm then parting with it, the relation, like relating to him, is when he then said, we can only be free if we rid the world of the ones who want to rid the world of us.
Yeah.
So like
Our
killing,
enemies.
just killing off all of our enemies, and just like you're
But that's all he's, that's all that's going on inside of his head, and he's just finally unlocked so many of these past memories and lives, and everything in that, just all the trauma in there just tells him those are the enemy, and they have done so many horrible things to me and mine, and like going back so far back, that he can't wrap his head around anything else other than what has happened and what has led them here and what they have to do now. And I don't know if, like, maybe he's gonna come around at some point and think differently, but at least right now, because everything is just still so new to him in a sense, or at least like many of these memories is, I don't know how to explain it. They've always been a part of him, of course, but where all the others, they have only gotten this information about these past transgressions and the Eldians and the Malians, and they've only like been told about that stuff. But Eren is the only one who has sort of experienced it, so it's more personal to him. Like, they have actually hurt him in a way, or at least his memories, or something inside of him that he relates to on a very emotional level and a personal level. So I think that that's definitely also one of the reasons why he has a way different reaction to all of this, compared to the rest of them.
Yeah, but I don't think he's gonna come around.
Most likely not, no.
You know how you always, for the most part, you see a turn in people. So when, at least in like television series and stuff like that you can kind of see them turn slowly, and you can kind of feel the trajectory going in a way where you're like, oh no, you're supposed to be the good guy. Suddenly it happens, and it's like, I just feel like with Eren it's been like this. And yeah, and when he then says like, let's just go kill everyone, that's like any enemy we have, and it's just like, suddenly I understand the Rice family, like their restraint, not wanting to fight, and not, and kind of keeping the people in denial and like blissful ignorance for so long. I understand why. I'm not sure I feel like it's the right thing to do, but I think I do understand why they did it, because I definitely think it's a better alternative than just say, okay, then let's just do like they do and go kill everyone.
Let's fight it out.
Yeah, like then it's just, that's gonna, when it gets too black and white, where it's like, yeah, but we have to figure out a way to meet in the middle, and if we can, like, coexist. And of course, there are always gonna be people who are gonna be against coexisting. Like, we know it from our world too, right? Because there's so many people who just want to fight tooth and nail to make other people not coexist with them. There are just some people who just they see the world as black and white, and they're like, we don't welcome you here. And with you, it means like everyone who's different from them, right? And so I definitely get, like, this is very real, that there will always be some sort of pushback. but as we've talked about before, we should strive towards some sort of peace and coexistence, and not just genocide.
Or at least try to do better than what we have done before in the past. And I think that's very much applies to this story and this world as well. And again, whoever wrote that mid info screen there we got this time around with the whole, let's not just repeat the same mistakes and keep on fighting or hiding. Like let's talk. Let's sit around the same table and try to figure this out. It has to be possible that way.
Could it be Seek?
I don't. Seek doesn't at the moment really strike me as someone who would do that. Like, he is committed to wiping out the Eldians. I think it's someone like Armin. It's like, at the moment at least. As you said as well, I don't. Eren, no, probably not. It's not going to come around in that way.
No, he's not. He's
and he might even become a bit of a villain at some point. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna turn. He's the Anakin of this series.
Even though it was Levi who didn't like sand in the sorry.
Oh my god.
It's coarse, it's rough, it's irritating.
Oh, don't
it
even.
Gets in everywhere.
Don't even. It's like, and don't even get me started on Hayden Christensen. No, never mind. We're talking about Attack on Titan, and another thing that I always thought interesting. It was this whole, because we started the whole episode out with a question of whether the people of the inside the walls should they tell
them the truth or not?
Yeah. Should they tell everybody the truth? And they decided to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always been such a thought experiment, right? So when it's at least something I've come across many times before, where it's like, if you have this truth, like, and for example, it could be like, oh, if you know that there's an alien invasion coming in about a few days or something, would you tell the world the truth, or would you just let them stay in their ignorance? And like that,
because it might
ignorance.
just cause a panic, and
exactly,
it's not
and then
do anything.
And
good.
that panic, exactly, then panic could just become even worse than.
Yeah, but I do think in this situation it was pretty much the only choice.
But I'm not. It's just a thought experiment.
Oh yeah.
It's something that people like. This just
something
something
we've seen it in other
just
stories.
designed to make you think. What would you prefer yourself? Would you prefer to potentially just die in blissful ignorance a couple days after, when there's an alien invasion going and everybody dies because the aliens are bad apparently, or if you would risk the chaos and then try to fight back? And I think it's they also explained why they decided to do so. Because if they just ripped down the whole Reis dynasty for the sake of him not telling the truth, and then they decide not to tell the truth, then what was all this for, right? As
Pixie said. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's definitely interesting. Some interesting questions they're raising. Yeah,
but Historia made the decision in the end that no, we should tell them. That is the right thing to do, and the regime we just fought, like, we can't just turn around and do exactly what they did. And then they started telling people, or they of course got like reporters and newspapers and whatnot, and they got the news out in that way. But there's still a lot of people doubting whether or not it's true, or if it's some sort of military plot or whatever it was that they said. And that's totally understandable. And I would completely understand if people are gonna lash out in some way, either panic or just not believe it. There's gonna be some issues in that regard. I'm sure, and then I also understand someone like Flock, like why he sort of lashed out at all the others because of who he is as a person, and what he sort of experienced at Shiganshina with the suicide charge and the whole should we revive Avin or Armin, and it's like for right now there is no definitive right or wrong choice. You can't. I wouldn't say you can say that just yet. If everything they did there, if that was warranted, or if they should have done something different, or if they should have chosen Erwin instead of Armin, as many of them apparently still believes that they should have done that, but we don't know yet. And it seemed like Flock definitely couldn't understand why they made that decision, other than it's your friend and it became personal and you brought your emotions into the shit. But Levi didn't say anything, and I was a bit curious about that, like why he was just standing there. And maybe it's because he's not quite sure why he made that decision himself just yet.
No, we're also made aware that, well, he overheard the trio talking about the sea and everything back when they had like a huge celebration.
Yeah, that was before they left for Shiganshina, right?
I can't remember exactly what it was, but he heard that conversation with them.
Yes.
Overheard it, and that definitely stirred something in him. And yeah, maybe it's emotions. Maybe he actually believes that was the best call. Not for emotions, but we also know that he has, like, he holds his cards very close to his chest.
Yeah, sorry.
Whether it's strategic or not, or just like a self-preservation thing.
I think it's that.
Yeah, it probably is. But, so I don't know. It's, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe he was regretting it, or at least rethinking it, and or maybe he was just, he didn't want to interfere because, well, everybody is suffering this loss too, right? It's not only like,
and they can suffer, or like they can grieve in whatever way they choose, and just letting people get that out as well. Maybe like that can be a good thing, and that's why he didn't like just let this guy yell at them and just get it out, man. Just get it out.
But I'm just that's very, when it becomes kind of apparent to me that they're still very much teenagers, the way that he just lashed completely out at them, and also just like he went straight for Armin first, and basically said, "You don't deserve to live." And
that's a tough thing to hear.
It's a really tough thing to hear, yeah. And also because most people would question this choice as well, right? Everyone who has just like a smidge of self-awareness would be like, why was I chosen over someone like Erwin? And, well, it's a horrible situation to be put in, because he didn't choose himself, right? And then he's just being blamed for it and being told you don't deserve to live. And he just, they're like, yeah, I agree, but what do you want me to do? Just waste my life now then? Or what? Like, it's like, I what's done is done.
So getting that out at least, and then hopefully we can start focusing on, okay, what can we do? And Armin as well, with like, what can I do to make it so that this choice will become the right choice?
Yeah, and I think Armin is exactly potentially the right person for that. Because, well, there's always been the dark side to Eren, right? Armin has always been very, he's been thinking a lot about stuff, and he's always been trying to at least like mend fences. And we also, maybe it's also, hey, okay, so we knew from when they were kids, maybe in the way that they responded to the bullies was actually a foreshadowing of what's going to happen. Because the way that Eren was dealing with bullies was just like trying to take them head on, even though
no
they
matter
were
what.
much stronger and much more
He's
probably
just
older and
always
whatever.
fighting that fight, being the attack titan.
Exactly. And then we had someone like Armin who was just like, he was just kind of bending his head.
Standing his ground a lot of the time, like he never ran.
No, but he took the beating. And he never, the same way that Eren just basically just, charged head first into fights. Armin was a little bit more.
He didn't provoke.
And he didn't push back or anything like that. He was just like basically just letting the bully him, and then just.
And if he pushed back, it was with his words and not with his fists, as we saw. I think like in the very first scene we met him was when he was being bullied, and he said something to them that they didn't even really understand. Or he was being like way more clever than them. And then they kept on beating him for it. Yeah,
and that's why I think because if Eren then chose to go that way, that's kind of his becoming a Sith now, right? Potentially,
I guess.
Potentially, then Armin will still hopefully be able to see both sides and hopefully mend the fences and hopefully say like, yeah, well, we are the Devilspawn or whatever, but we.
Let's not repeat the mistakes of the past.
Exactly, So in that way, I think potentially it was the right choice. I was also considering what would happen if Erwin was here right now, in regards to if Eren then turns, what would Erwin then? Would he be like full on Eldian pride, or would he just go like, let's try and.
That's a really good question. And at least just first with Armin, we don't know, of course, yet, just like everyone else, whether or not it was the right choice, but we want to believe that he can be that voice of reason moving forward. And then yes, with Erwin, I am so curious about like what would have happened, and I also feel very bad for him, or like he just wanted the truth so bad, and they finally got it, and like at least way more truth that they have ever gotten before or in 100 years. And I would have loved to have seen his reaction to it, and how he would have interpreted it, and what sort of plans he would have come up with if he would have been as aggressive as Eren is being at the moment, or how would he have like taken those news and like that information, and what would he have done with it? And we will never know, but. Yeah, so in that way, we definitely get why people still think that, damn it should have been Erwin who survived. But we believe that in the future, they will all be very glad that they ended up choosing Armin.
Yeah, I wonder if the truth would set Erwin free.
Or maybe just further down the rabbit hole, and he was gonna start, becoming more and more not like himself or aggressive, or he's gonna lose himself to it in some way, and like in this way he finally got rest, like Levi said. But
we will never know. But it's just interesting to think about sometimes, I think.
It is.
Some people, they have a tendency to, once their objective is fulfilled, they might, as you say, either go further down the rabbit hole to kind of prolong that, or they might, I don't know, resign in a way, like they might just
it's all hypotheticals, but
or they might be set free. So
again, we'll never know with Erwin in particular, but many of the other characters, of course, they're still there, and a lot of new stuff is happening. They're standing at the ocean, and where do we go from here? I still really want to see things from the other perspective now, and I have a feeling that we might get that, because now we are moving into the final season after this, so we have to get that perspective, right? And we have to get to know like more about these Mali people, and maybe even go back to when Zeke joined that warrior program, or maybe we get to see Haina and Annie and like Annie, for example, like she's still encased in that crystal thing somewhere in some basement, I presume. So I really want to see what's going on with all of that. But anywho, that was another long discussion. They've been fairly long, like these past 3 or 4 episodes or something. But again, it's because of the whole fucking info dump that we've gotten, like all of this stuff that we've just been trying to process. But do you have anything else you wanna add to this one?
No,
No.
probably not. There's a lot. So
Yeah. We're gonna sleep on it, and then when we start season 4, maybe we will have thought of something. And I also get to rewatch some of these episodes when I'm editing, so maybe I'll notice something then. I'll bring it up. It's something we haven't talked about yet. But that was season 3.
yeah,
Fuck yes. It's come a long way, but there's still like 28 episodes to go, which is now we're moving into like the absolute longest season so far, because it's been like 25 episodes, 12, 22, and then 28. So here comes the big chunk at the end. But that's gonna do it for this reaction and review of Attack on Titan season 3 episode 22. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.
bye.